If the Disney Channel original movie Cool Runnings is the only thing that you know about the Winter Olympic sport bobsleigh, buckle up because we're about to break it down. Welcome back to Olympic Winter is Coming, the series where, in preparation for the Winter Olympics that start in February, I'm taking you through every single one of the medaling events, a little bit about their history as a sport and with the games, and the basics of the rules that you need to know in order to be able to watch them. Today we're talking about bobsleigh. Bobsleigh was invented by the Swiss in the late 1860s. This is what we call a bobsleigh, and when the Swiss were inventing the sport, they took a sledge and welded two skeletons together. Then they added a steering mechanism, and a frame was put around the sledge to make it safer. Originally, these sledges were made out of wood, but pretty quickly the wood was replaced with steel. The sport itself is a timed trial. Athletes hurdle down icy curved tracks at high breakneck speeds. The first bobsleigh club was actually founded in 1897 in St. Moritz. And when it comes to the Olympics, this is one of the sports that was actually present at the very first Winter Games in 1924. But back then, we only had one event, and that was the four-man bobsleigh. This is probably the version of the sport that you're most familiar with if you've only ever seen Cool Runnings. However, when we get into the 2026 games, there will be four separate events. Those are the four-man bobsleigh, the two-man and the two-woman bobsleigh, and the women's monobob. Each of these events vary slightly. When it comes to the two-person events, the teams are made up of one driver and one brakeman. And when it comes to the four-man bobsleigh, you have two additional athletes that help push that sledge at the very beginning of the run. And for the monobob, that's actually only a women's event, and there's only a single woman running the bobsleigh herself. Bobsleigh is run in four timed heats. Each athlete or team has one run per heat, and the best time at the end of those heats is what determines our winner. The runs themselves start out with a physical run of about 50 meters. So you'll see the team actually pushing the bobsleigh down the ice, pick up speed, and physically pick up that speed for the bobsleigh itself. Then one by one, they'll jump into the bobsleigh and head down the run, trying to maintain that momentum, steering, braking, and crossing the finish line in the fastest amount of time. While the four-man bobsleigh event was present at the very first Olympics, the two-man bobsleigh event did not debut until the 1932 Olympics at Lake Placid. And women didn't start competing in bobsleigh until 2002 in Salt Lake City, when women's two-person bobsleigh was added to the event. And in terms of the women's monobob, this actually wasn't added until last Winter Olympics in 2022 in Beijing. At those Beijing Olympics, Germany dominated nearly every single event. Their teams took the gold and silver medals in both four-man bobsleigh and two-woman bobsleigh, and they took all three steps of the podium when it came to the men's two-man bobsleigh. So it's going to be interesting to see what those podiums look like when it comes to bobsleigh in the 2026 Winter Olympics. Be sure to drop any questions you have about this event in the comments down below. If you're already following bobsleigh, let me know who you're rooting for. And of course, if you're excited about the upcoming Winter Olympics, be sure to follow along so that you can catch the rest of this series as we go through every single one of the events in preparation.